Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. I meant to do a segment yesterday, but I lost the film, so I accidentally deleted it. Um, so today I'm going to talk about what I said yesterday, but I'm going to talk about it today. And that is the hostages over in Gaza and in Israel. And what I mean by that is that they're not really hostages in Israel, they're prisoners. And the reason for that is because last year, or 2 years ago, there was an attack on Hamas brought on by Israel. And it turns out that Hamas pretty much works like the way cartels do in Mexico on this side of the world, where they blend in with ordinary civilians and families. So when Israel attacked Palestine, they went ahead and arrested a lot of Hamas, but they also arrested a lot of ordinary people that were sheltering them and stuff. So we got men, women, children, elderly, and even sickly or, people with a condition that are Palestinian that are in prison or jail, or, under psychiatric lockdown or something like that in a hospital somewhere. Whatever their case, whatever the case, wherever they may land on. So now that has happened, 2 years has passed by, and the Hamas launch an attack on Israel and kidnap some people, which are also children, women, a few men, and certain people with conditions, elderly and people with conditions. Because remember, they also stormed houses and neighborhoods. Okay. So now, no matter what goes on, and technically we can already predict what's going on with the fight. Hamas is just going to get their asses kicked by Israel. Plain and simple. Regardless of whatever circumstances, like people are thinking, yeah, but with American weapon. Yeah, because, Israel bought American weapons. They bought American weapons. And it's not like the Hamas didn't buy anything from the Hezbollah. They were the ones that launched drones to knock out the telecommunications. The same drones that was sold to Russia in order for them to knock out telecommunications in the Ukraine. The Ukraine just used American or Western rather drones to counter that crap that Russia was doing. So now everybody's playing fair, so to say. But yeah, those same drones that Russia used on Ukraine, same drones, but only for the Hamas to use on Israel, which is how they got their sneak attack. But the experts are already saying that Hamas is fighting a war that they've already lost, just simply because Hamas is so incredibly limited, and the only thing that they could do is just resort to guerrilla warfare. Which, which, as we all know, is very good tactful usage of war here in the States, as we've seen in Afghanistan. So it's still up in the air as to whether or not they're going to actually get run out of Gaza, and whether or not the Palestinians are going to get run out of Palestine and the West Bank, which is kind of strange that they called it the West Bank, given the fact that it's on the northeastern side of of Israel. But, that's what they want to call it. It's sort of a 50-50 with that. That being said, there's some prisoners that are wrongfully caged. There's some prisoners and hostages that don't really need to be in this mess. And if any good is to come out of this, then we can at least, like, if we were to root for something out of this, we can at least root and cheer and support and put the pressure on our political figures and our political leaders to release the prisoners in exchange for their hostages. You know. And I understand American support because Americans were actually apprehended. You know, some of them American Jews, but nevertheless, they were American. So, you know, there's a reason for us to still be there and show our support. You know, Hamas has got American hostages, plain and simple. And you know, which this leads to a lot of propaganda. After saying this, if you guys were to see anybody's reaction toward this kind of mentality, this kind of viewpoint, it would be, yeah, but Israel's occupying Palestine, Israel's doing this, Israel's doing that, and all this other stuff. Well, you know what? That's Palestinian problems. Okay? And they're doing it with American weaponry. Yeah, because Israel buys from America. Plain and simple. You know, it doesn't matter that the fact that we're not telling them to go ahead and do whatever the hell that the Palestinians are complaining about. And as far as this occupation goes, well, technically that's the chance that Palestinians had to take. You know, they planted themselves in Israel's territory, Israel's country, Israel lands, you know, as far back as when they were the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? That's the risk that Palestinians had to take. And now more than ever, they're crying and complaining more. But don't let this fool you. The cries and complaints goes from ignoring the fact that they settled themselves in the middle of Israel land, to throwing out all this propaganda. You know, the Jews are all starting the wars. Okay? See if that sounds familiar. That sound familiar? I think it does. You know, the Jews are starting all the wars. You know, what wars? You know, World War II? If memory serves, Israel was attacked. A lot of them had to flee to Palestine and other countries. You know, Israel starts all the wars. Which one? American Civil War? I don't think that involved us. Or how about when the Spartans? No, they battled the Persians. You know, the French? No, the French were fighting Russia and invading Egypt and blowing off the black faces off of the statues and stuff, blasting the faces off of the statues and everything. You know, so, you know, that's a tiny ass country. You know, it's not starting all these wars. But that's what they got to try to get you to believe. And then if you go as far as believing that, it goes down through all these other spectrums. The Jews are this, the Jews are that. All the way down to Jews are occupying us. All the way down to here in the States, where you get college kids, well-to-do college kids that are, you know, spoon-fed, silver spoons. And yet there they are at Charleston University with tiki torches, terrorizing some synagogue. You know, the Jews will not replace us. The Jews will not replace us. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, they own this, they own that. Yeah, but at the same time, it's not them that's making all this crap, making all this mess. You know? And now, lately, it's the Jews are sending immigrants. They're responsible for the immigrants coming in. Well, no, not really. Not really. Not in Venezuela, where the corrupt wealthy are sticking to their own kind while kicking out their own citizens. You know? Not in Colombia, not in Nicaragua, where they're the recent countries. You know? The Jews aren't responsible for doing that. And you got places in New York and Chicago. These Democrats and these Jews. Well, no, not really, because as I've said in previous posts, it's my worthless Republican governor that's busing these migrants to those cities. Jews ain't got nothing to do with it. It's that worthless Governor DeSantis. It's that worthless Arizona Governor Ducey, or Dookie, whoever. They're the ones that are causing this crap. Jews ain't got nothing to do with this. And so you get these people that are picking fights and stuff like that. There was a guy in the north, somewhere in northern part of the Yankee states, that was stabbing some people, I think in a coffee shop or something, in the name of Palestine, in the name of Jews not replacing us, or whatever, Jewish occupation. People at a coffee shop are not participating in the Israel or any occupation, okay? People in a coffee shop are tree huggers. We all know this. Sandal makers. So, what the hell? As far as I'm concerned, as far as that goes, take your fight somewhere else. Don't bring it here in the States. Yeah, but Israel's using the weapons bought in the state. Yeah, because they're our buyers. What they do with it apparently depends on how much of a fight Palestinians and Hamas pick with them. It depends on how much of a fight you're picking with them. It's what the Israelis are doing. And don't get me wrong, the Israelis under Netanyahu, you kind of wish for a better leader. One that could actually get everything organized, as opposed to just simply bomb and imprison and kill. You got a bunch of people out on southern part of Gaza, just north of Egypt, which brings me to the next subject, that are gonna get slaughtered by Netanyahu's power. We really need somebody that knows how to shuffle the field, shuffle the army around the field in order to not so much slaughter the Palestinian or Gaza citizens, but push them out literally. Okay, just push them out. You don't need to kill. Okay. But of course, the border is not opening up. The port of entry is not opening up over in Egypt. Okay, which it should, but it's not, because they have their reasons. Their economy's in the hole, and it's overcrowded, and all this other bullshit. Bull crap. Okay, guys. I want everybody, especially you Palestinians who are like trying to stab people in the public, take a good look at what's going on. You guys are Allah worshippers. And you hate everything corrupt about the West and us infidels in the West and everybody that the West does business with, like Israel. But get this, those countries, Lebanon, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, none of them are helping you. Hate groups are, but they're only leading you, the people, to slaughter if and when they do. Which brings me to a theory. Either Egypt is so Islamic extremist that they're closing ports of entry, so when the Gaza people that need rescuing get blown up, they could tell the world, look what Israel in the West is doing. Look what those American infidels are doing. They're either using them as sort of a sacrificial whatever to make an example of for their own religious hate, or realistically, they just don't give a damn. They really don't give a damn, no matter who you pray to, no matter who you hate. You understand? You can go out and pick fights with us. You can attack people in coffee shops or grocery stores. You could shoot up the place and all this other shit in the name of Allah. In the name of all the other crap. In the name of Allah. And in the name of your country. And in the name of your Gaza. In the name of your West Bank. But take a good look at what's actually going on. Take a good look at your your brothers and sisters that are stuck there, that are at that point of entry, that are stuck in West Bank, going, oh no, the American infidels, just so that way they don't get blown up, so they don't get shot by Hamas. And take a look at the surrounding countries that are closing their ports of entry, that are not letting your brothers and sisters escape to other Middle Eastern countries. Okay? Take a good look at that crap before you make your next move. Before you make your move thinking that maybe I could shoot some elementary school kids. You know? Take a good look at the bullshit, the bullcrap that's going on over in your countries and those closed ports of entry and those people that are ready to get slaughtered in the name of Allah, in the name of your God, in the name of making an example out of. Take a good look at that. Take a good look at your brothers before you decide to shoot up the airport, or before you start waving a machete into a crowd of people at a shopping mall or a Walmart. Okay? Before you make that mix, take a look at the bull crap that's going on in your countries. Ports of entry closed. People trying to talk, parading around their dead kids. You know? Allah be merciful, Allah curse all of you, all of this and all of this and all this other stuff. Take a good look at that. Because I'm willing to bet real money, that they just don't really care. That they would rather use your brothers and sisters as an example, as a martyr to feed into their propaganda. I'm willing to bet real money that that's all that it is. Of course, I'm also willing to make a side bet that they just don't care. That they're just as ignorant as the ignorant people here in America towards the migrants that are at the border. I'm willing to bet real money that that's probably even more so than what it is. They're all great at talking a lot of crap. Muslims don't do these kind of harsh things to the people. No, Islam does not permit us to be harsh to the people. And all this other garbage. Just like the way all the Christians here in my side of the world, all my fellow Christians, I am a Christian. I'm just not a part of the religious organizations that say, Jesus doesn't let us be harsh, and Jesus isn't this, and we're followers of Jesus. We only know love, and I love you. Yeah, but you're not going to open the ports of entry for the starving people to come in across the border. No, you're going to say, get off my territory. You're crowding us. You're taking our jobs. Stop invading my freedom. And that's exactly what I'm looking at when I see those closed ports of entry over there in the Middle East. I see them saying, oh, no, Allah does not permit us to be evil and cruel and harsh to the people. But we can't let those Gaza people across our border. It's just too much. Really? Hypocrites, hypocrites, hypocrites. You're really you're really nobody to judge us on this side of the world. And those of you who are on this side of the world who are thinking about hitting a place, calm down. First prove us wrong by opening the ports of entry on your home side of the world before you start attacking anybody over here. You ain't teaching nobody a damn thing here, because you're just as much of a hypocritical fool or a hypocritical stooge that's out to that literally believes that it's all our fault. Nothing but a stooge that believes in propaganda. First, take care of your own business. First, take care of your own, clean your own mess before you start looking at us here in the West. Okay? I'm going to close it off at the 20-minute mark. Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. This is Chris. Chris Comments signing out.